Hey, what's up you guys? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on The Snapshot, we're making use of every shaft when we take a look at Ivara's Exilus Quiver build. Okay, so I've been sitting in the concept phases of this video for a little too long. I wanted to have various takes on the build that I use that focus on power strength, range, duration, and all of that hullabaloo. But if I'm gonna be 100% honest, I hated them all. Every single one of them. I understand that there are some of you that just want to see massive numbers on your bow, and I know that there are some of you who just want the biggest stealth bubble ever. But honestly, that is not the way that I play her. And hopefully you came here for my build, and not just to have me reinforce the feelings about whatever you've already got equipped. With that said, let's begin. Now, the premise of this build is to make her effective in all areas, embracing her ability to provide support, crowd control, and be a one-woman wave-clearing machine. While I usually focus on ability mechanics, truth be told, the real bonus of this setup is the fact that you aren't sacrificing any one stat for anything else. So every part of her kit sees growth, leaving the only thing that I really fiddle around with to be her aura and Exilus slots. With the recent releases of the drift mods, you can gain slight bonuses to power strength, max power, ability range, or even with the right combination, boost her energy regeneration for use with her Artemis bow. So whether you prefer to prowl solo or lend your quiver to a team, this setup allows you to be effective at whatever you're hunting. Now let's take a look at the snapshot. As you can see, I've added in a total of 3 Forma, and honestly I do not know why, because you only really need 2 for the build that I'm going to show you. And if you don't plan on adjusting values via the Exilus slot, then you can get away with having just 1. So for the plebs, add in a D slot, and for the rest of us, add in both a D and a V. Now, as for the build, it's fairly basic using the standard survivability and efficiency mods. Then we go in hard with prime continuity and constitution in order to offset fleeting expertise. And finally, we close it out by splashing in some range and power strength. From this point on, it's all about customization via the Aura and Exilus slots. If you plan on staying in Prowl a lot, keep in mind that while the ability is active, it toggles off Energy Siphon, so you can always swap into something like Corrosive Projection or Shield Disruption. Interestingly enough, Artemis Bow does not toggle off the energy gain, so if you plan on focusing on that, you may want to pair Energy Siphon with Coaction Drift, as you will gain a slight boost to the speed at which you gain energy. Or, on the other end of the spectrum, there is always Power Drift for a boost in power strength if all you really care about is how much of your shaft you can drive into your targets. Now for those who prefer more of a control or support role, take a look at Cunning Drift, as it'll give you a slight range bump to your sleep arrow and bigger balls for your allies to hide in. As for tips and tricks, there really isn't much to say here, as it's completely up to you to decide your own playstyle, and from that point even alter the build to better suit your needs. Ivara has a lot of flexibility in her kit, and while some of us will be toggling between arrows left and right, you may personally find that you only need one specific arrow for soloing and one specific arrow for grouping. I personally use a little bit of everything, from sleep arrows to control choke points, navigator and stealth bubbles to aid fallen allies, to prowl and dash wire to get amazing sniping angles. And that is why I highly value her flexibility and use a build that doesn't take away from anything, because I figure the more heads I can take advantage of, the better. So thank you all for watching another episode of The Snapshot. If you haven't already caught it, be sure to check out my previous episode on Loki's 50k focus build, as well as a fairly good fit for our prowling princess, the Rubico. Now don't forget to do all the things that I ask you to do at the end of every one of these, and as always, stay tuned to watch me use every single shaft I can get my hands on, here at A Gay Guy Plays. Now, I don't know about you, but I always find it a little awkward running into guys that you've given the shaft. Hi! Ugh.